What's going
Let's
on?
go.
AIM Squad.
AIM Squad, welcome back. Another week of football. Week 10, here we are.
Man, what a week of football last week.
Last week, crazy football last week. There was a lot of ins and outs. There were a lot of oopsie doops. It was a fun game. Close games too.
We lost people, unfortunately, on injury.
And it just was all over the place.
That was tough, man.
It was tough. But you know what? Let's just get right into Sunday's game. So we had 3 games of the week last week, where we had Game 1, Minnesota-Detroit, Game 2, Kansas City-Buffalo, and Game 3, Arizona-Dallas. We'll carve right into it. Game 1, Minnesota-Detroit. Detroit was favored minus 8.5.
Huge favorites. Not just a favorite, a huge favorite.
Huge favorite. Touchdown plus, 2-possession game favorites. And my brother over here took Detroit. I took Minnesota. As I said, sprinkle a little money line on it, and we know what happened. But I'll throw it to my brother first, Irshad. What happened in this game?
I don't know. I think J.J. McCarthy didn't have the best game he wanted. Or sorry, he had a good game.
Yeah.
Jared Goff didn't have the good game he wanted. His stats obviously reflect otherwise. He obviously threw for 280 yards. But no, man, I think Aaron Jones came in, was just more effective on the run game. Justin Jefferson, obviously, with the tutty. We know when JJ scores, he's dominant. And so we kind of saw that, just the efficiency of the team. It was a close game at the end of it. So it was something whereby, you know, you had the passing TD come in at the very end. They tried to kind of make amends. They couldn't do it. And that's it. I mean, it was a neck and neck game. I think there were scores by both teams in some capacity every quarter. Mm-hmm. So it's like they were there with each other all the time. But yeah, I mean, Detroit, for them to cover 8.5, they just didn't. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, I had to take the L. I still believe in Detroit's offense.
For sure, of course. Their offense is fire. You already know their offense is amazing.
But this game,
they just didn't turn up this game for some reason. They just were in check. I guess they got scared. Minnesota came out the gates. They went up, it was like 14-0. 7. Detroit scored first, and then they went up 14-7, answered with 2 touchdowns right back.
Yeah, and it shudders everybody a little bit, you know? Like, oh my God, what just happened here?
Because Detroit's usually on a cruise mode. They're there, they scored a touchdown, and they're just coasting. They couldn't coast. They had to come back, and they had to fight their way. They made it close, but unsuccessful at the end of the day. So I started 1-0. My brother was 0-1, which leads us to the second game, which this game was apparently, in my eyes, America's game of the week.
It was definitely America's game of the week.
So we had Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Buffalo Bills.
Yep, conference final, potential conference final.
And that matchup, is always beautiful. And we had, the spread was Kansas City favored, minus 1.5, which didn't make any sense at that point. But we took Buffalo to cover the spread, and look what happened. Buffalo came out, put on the show. Last game they have against KC in that stadium, right before they move. So they came out to prove a point.
Yep.
Josh Allen, 2 touchdowns, and they were just carving Kansas City defense.
Yep,
like it wasn't even there. But does it come back to bite them in the playoffs? Because this happens every year. They win in the regular season. Whoever wins the regular season loses the playoffs, and they play each other. So it's kind of like, was it worth it for them to get that double?
It's something we talked about, because maybe, Mahomes is built for the big show.
Yeah.
He's not built for the season. He just wants to get into the playoffs. Once he's in, then it becomes Hall of Fame Mahomes, right? That's where trigger finger Mahomes comes in. So could this be one of those things where, hey, Mahomes is saying, hey, Josh Allen gang, here's your win.
Today. But
wait till when it counts.
Yeah, when it counts.
When it counts, we'll see.
We'll see. So there we go. We both got that one, the spread, and they won the game. So I started off 2-0 the week. Irshad was 1-1, which led us to a Monday night game. Which this game was surprisingly surprised everybody.
Yeah,
we had the Arizona Cardinals visiting the Dallas Cowboys, where the Cowboys were favored by minus 2.5, which is a really weird spread where you had backup quarterback coming in, Jacoby Brissett playing the Cowboys, and Cowboys' offense was lethal. They were really good, and they just couldn't perform. Arizona just showed up and ended up winning the game too. Sprinkled the money line on there too, which was ridiculous. And it was just, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys just don't know how to finish games against bottom teams.
Yeah.
They just allow them to win, and they just try things that they're not supposed to. And like we said from the beginning of our show, like from week 1, Irshad, we've been talking about this, about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Penalties that affect yourself.
Correct.
They had that play where George Pickens got it. He got a pass for, I think, 18 yards. Got the pass for 18 yards and then taunted the ball on the corner. And he got flagged 15 yards.
Immediately.
Back. That whole play was done. They were in field goal range. That could have changed the whole game. That negated the whatever progress. Had to punt it, lost the game.
It changed the entire momentum of the game. And you're right. We talked about it. It's self-inflicted penalties.
Yeah.
You have to stay disciplined.
But why is it Dallas always does this and they just don't learn?
I don't know, man.
And it's Pickens himself too. Like, you would think calm him down, but it's always for what reason? Like, where did you get him? And as a team, I feel like they need to come in and talk to this guy. Like, hey, listen, like, we understand you're electrified. You want to make a move, your energy, you're hyped for the game, yes, but you got to control that emotion. You got to be able to understand the concept of the game, where the time and the place there is to go do that.
Exactly.
And now you took that loss, and now they might not even make the playoffs. They're nowhere to be found.
Nowhere. And it's tough, right? Because, like, you have CD coming in, targeted 12 times, only picked up 7 receptions, 85 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're wide receiver 1, right? You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Right? Like, you can't. See, Javonte Williams. Okay, 15 carries, 83 yards, 5 yards a carry. Cool. All right, somewhat efficient, but you have a fumble in there.
Yeah.
You can't fumble it like that, especially when and then the taunting.
Yeah.
Come on. Any taunt flag is horrible.
Yeah.
That is just your mental getting the best of you.
And you're not even winning the game.
So why are you taunting? Exactly. Why are you taunting? You're not in a position to win.
Like a 20-yard pass, and you're taunting the other guy for what? You got a 20-yard pass. Whoop-de-doo.
Cool. Look at the scoreboard.
Exactly. Right.
Look at
the scoreboard.
Right. So I don't know. Dallas needs to tighten up their defense. Now, obviously, we know with the unfortunate loss of Nealon.
Yes.
Right. R.I.P. So obviously, thoughts and prayers. But Dallas has to get their stuff together.
Yeah, they got to get their shit together. Sorry, but yes.
You know what I mean? Like, they have to make sure that this is tightened up. That now, especially after this big loss, they have to
3 games out of the division.
You have to make sure you bring the camaraderie with the team here to ensure this doesn't happen, especially against an offensive arsenal like Dallas. Otherwise, Al, I think you start stripping it down for parts.
Yeah,
I think you start stripping it down for parts. You put CD on a team like, I don't know, KC,
sure,
and you have now Rashee Rice and Mahomes and CD Lamb. You know what I mean?
You break it up in the offseason. You just blow it up and start from scratch.
And that's what I mean. Like, with CD maybe to
or maybe
Miami.
It's time for Jerry Jones to go.
Wait,
they need to change.
Jerry Jones definitely needs to go.
They need to go. They change. I know he has the most money in the world, sure, whatever. But at the end of the day, for them to win a championship, he needs to go and they need to restart.
Yeah,
that's it.
Exactly. I think it's time. Change the culture on this organization.
Exactly. Well, that was Monday night, so Arizona came out, won the game. Sorry, we got a little heated there for it, but it's just it's kind of hard. But yeah, so we ended off the week. Myself, I ended 3-0. My brother went 1-2. And so it fluctuates here and there, but we're gonna look forward. And now our new records
for Sunday night
football. Should I tell them what they are?
So Al's at 8-13, so he's making the climb up. He's making the climb. He went 3-0, and I'm 11-10, just above 500. But we got to keep this going. But before we get into the games of the week, let's break down our parlay.
Ooh.
So our parlay that we had last week, we had Ashton Genty, James Cook, and Kyron Williams. So Al, how did our parlay look?
So we had Kyron Williams on the LA Rams. Scored the last touchdown in the fourth quarter. Beauty. We knew he was going to get one there. That was a check mark right there. And then Irshad, you were at this game. Who scored a touchdown for us?
Ashton Genty. He was great. I mean, a bit of an underwhelming performance because he wasn't able to break out. But, hey, he scored the touchdown. That's all that matters, and that's all that counts. But James Cook just couldn't find pay dirt. We had Josh Allen somehow get 2 rushing touchdowns, but couldn't give one of the balls to James Cook, his running back. That just missed, unfortunately. So we went 2 for 3.
Yeah.
So if you guys sprinkled a little bit on the straight bets, you would have hit for sure. On the parlay, unfortunately, it didn't. But it's okay because we are here, week 10, trying to make it work again.
Yes,
so
let's go get it.
Let's get it. Week 10. Let's get into it. Our first game of the week. We have a solid matchup, a divisional matchup between 2 and 3, which could actually flip the script on who becomes and stays 2 and 3.
Yeah.
This is the LA Rams visiting their state city, San Francisco 49ers, where the Rams are currently favored -4.5.
Yeah.
So, Al, let me throw it to you first, brother. What's your take? Who are you thinking at -4.5 Rams? Where's your head at?
This game is interesting. So we already know San Francisco thought they were going to get Purdy back. Now we know Purdy, and if he's active, is not going to play. So you have Mac Jones playing. Mac Jones is comfortable with that team in the offense. Yet you got to remember, Mac Jones came in week 5, beat the Rams, and now he's playing them again. 4.5, yes, I always say this, division game, you always got to take the team to plus to cover. It's a division game. But this, to me, is a revenge game. I think Matthew Stafford comes out with Puka Nacua after his injury is healthy. Devontae Adams, they got Higbee, they got Kyron Williams. I think that whole Rams team is so in sync right now that I think they're like one of the most complete teams in the NFL. And I feel like they're going to come out and win this game by more than 4.5 points. So let's just say a touchdown and show San Francisco, hey, listen, like we may be neck and neck in the standings, but we're coming out ahead and we're going to go out and we're going to chase Seattle, be closer to them to go win the division because we are that team that is built now to go win another Super Bowl.
I agree. I tend to agree because I think to your point, it becomes a very interesting perspective on how the teams are built, what they're coming after, where the Rams are, where the Niners are. Like it's good and bad, right? You have someone like Mac Jones coming in, first week, played the Rams, beat the Rams. Great. Since then, Kittle's gone on injury, come back from injury, he's playing well, right? So when you also look at it from the perspective of obviously the way they're playing, the fact that Mac Jones has played going on 5 weeks, he scored 10 touchdowns, 5 picks. So yeah, the picks, that's about a pick a game, give or take, going into week 10, and 10 touchdowns. So it's looking good. C-Mac's obviously there. Puka Nakua's back, so there's his offense there. Look, at the end of the day, the offense for the Rams is, top 5. Top 10, maybe top 5, top 10, right? In terms of passing and total yardage. But you can't discount Mac Jones, right?
No, you can't.
You can't. Now, this is at home divisional game in San Francisco, and for it to be 4.5, I think is a little high. I do think that maybe, if anything, Rams win maybe by 3 by a field goal. Now, what we look at is maybe the 49ers have a bit of an inconsistent season. Yeah, they're 6-3, but a bit of an inconsistent story. But their defense also, you got to keep in mind, their defense necessarily isn't the best when it comes to yardage, but is definitely top 10 when it comes to points. So it's pretty solid, right? Rams defense, rock solid, number 2 in the league. No questions about it. But we look at then the reffing assignment. Okay? Home teams obviously aren't too hot. 32, 46, and 2 against the spread when Land Clark is reffing. So definitely a little bit more favorable towards the away team, in this case the Rams. But we look at the dissection between head coaches. Okay? So when Stafford at quarterback, Sean McVay is just 3-6 against the spread against Shanahan. Okay? So this is very, very important because this will be the 5th time McVay is a road favorite against the Niners, and Shanahan, where he is 1-3 against the spread in those games. Just 1-3. So could it be 1-4? Could it be 2-3? Honestly, the way it's going, I think it could be 1-4. And so the way I look at it is, yes, Stafford is great. Yes, Sean McVay is great. Yes, they're playing in the same state, which is obviously very great. But at the same token, you have San Francisco 49ers who, quite frankly, are, obviously at the cusp of the wild card.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're right there. They're in the wild card.
Listen, they're having a good season. They're 6-3.
They're 6-3.
Don't get it wrong. They're not playing horrible, terrible, even with everything. They're playing amazing football.
Technically, they're above the Detroit Lions in the NFC wild card. They're just under the Rams. So they're going to come out swinging. Okay? They really are. So when you look at the points for, points against, quite frankly, it actually bodes well that the Rams are going to make a push. But to your point, yeah, the 49ers are a little inconsistent, but they're not bad.
They're not bad, not at all.
So they're going to come in and they're going to come out swinging, and I think it's going to change Land Clark's officiating for that game.
Okay.
All right? So my thought generally is, yes, Stafford is solid, especially in the second half, but this is where Mac Jones and the 49ers have to come out swinging in the first half, right? The Rams are the best second half team in football, but that's where Mac Jones has to come in and say, listen, the first half, we have to capitalize. We can't put Stafford under stress, otherwise he's going to come out and score. This is where it's coming in, and I think being at home...
Protect your house.
Protect your house.
Yeah.
Your first quarter, they're going to, issue dominance. And I think San Francisco's going to make sure when they start strong, this is our house. We're not letting this go lightly, and it's going to be a close game. I truly think it's going to be a close game, and I don't think if San Francisco's going to win or not. I just think they're going to cover plus 4.5.
All right.
So I'm going San Francisco 49ers plus 4.5. Al, I know you're going Rams.
Yeah, hey.
Minus 4.5. Looks like we're separate on this one, brother.
All right, yeah, we're separate on that one. So again, that's going to be a fun watch division game. I'm excited for that game, which now leads us to game 2. We have the Detroit Lions coming off a horrible loss against Minnesota, favored on the road, playing the Commanders, who just brought back Daniels, kept him in too long, got injured, he's out. So the Daniel-less Commanders versus Jared Goff and the Lions, -7.5 Detroit. Irshad, what do you feel from here? How do you 7.5 is a lot of points. They were favored 8.5 last week, 7.5 this week. They didn't cover last week. Do they cover this week?
I think they're covering this week. You know what? And you know what? It was my mistake. Minnesota's a different team. You have JJ, right?
Well, he came back, just after injury, so he had no choice. They weren't game planned around it. It was last minute.
It was last minute, right? So things can change.
Yeah.
But we know we lost Jaden Daniels to a pretty horrific
Yes.
arm injury. But when you look at the rushing team, you have Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery. We've talked about this time and time again. Those are both 2 starting running backs, and they are 1 and 2. That's amazing. I'm not discounting Krosky Merritt. I'm not. He's playing well. The kicker though is it's going to be interesting because yes, he is a rookie. He no longer has his starting running back. You have Deebo Samuel, which we know in his Carolina Panther days, he was maybe a wide receiver 2, maybe wide receiver 3, right? So I think with that, not Carolina Panthers. I mean 49ers. 49ers
yes.
is what I mean. Sorry. I definitely think he was great. I just don't think he was necessarily the best. And now you lose your quarterback. So Marcus Mariota, definitely not new to this league. He's definitely been
a veteran. He's been here.
He's been here. He knows how to play, and he can read a defense pretty well. So I'm not gonna discount them, but I think Jared Goff's offensive arsenal, quite frankly, will just outcompete. Right? When you look at the loss from last week, that was a tough loss.
Yeah.
Now in Goff's career, right? Like when we look at it from the perspective, so we'll talk about the Lions. So since 2023. Lions have played 25 games where they lost outright to that opponent in the previous matchup. So Detroit is then 19-6 against the spread in those games, including 4-0 this year.
Wow.
4-0.
Yeah.
Okay? And 10-3 against since the start of last season. So what this essentially tells me is these guys are coming for the revenge game.
Yeah, they're coming for the throat because remember, they beat them last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat them.
Right, they beat them in the playoffs last year. So, like I was saying last week too, right, there was a look-ahead game for Detroit. They didn't play the best, and they're coming for revenge for this game, saying, hey, listen, you guys beat us in the playoffs last year because it was supposed to be our year to go.
Yep.
We're coming and showing you regular season. We're going to knock you out. Injuries, not whatever. We're going to eliminate you from the playoffs. Now, this is where it starts with the Detroit Lions make their Super Bowl run.
Absolutely.
This is the game that's going to show their dominance.
Yep.
Come out and be like, hey, don't forget about us. We had a bad game last week. You think we fallen off? Not a chance. We're here coming for it.
And that loss actually put them, like we talked about just in the previous game of the week, right above the cutoff for wild card.
Yeah.
If the Bears win and the Lions lose, effectively the Bears are in a wild card spot and Detroit Lions are not.
Exactly.
So Detroit Lions don't have a margin of error to play with. They have to win.
And they're going to show why.
And they're going to show out why.
Yeah.
So 7.5, the fact of the matter is this is a touchdown and then some. I think this might be a 10-point game, like a touchdown and a field goal, to be honest.
I think they come out and just destroy them.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'd be happy if they do.
Like a 31-10.
That'd be great. I'd probably go as far as to say, you know what, like at the very minimum, we're looking at like a 27-17 or even like a 17-7.
Yeah.
But like you're right. Technically, the offense is solid. The defense is solid. They should actually come out and their defense should hold it down because it's a top 10 defense. Yeah. And their offense should hold it down. It's a top 10 offense. Mm-hmm. You should have Detroit actually, in theory, slapping them.
Yeah. And Washington's already looking ahead. They're ready to go to Madrid next week because they play early game, international game.
And I still think I think they're reeling. Their entire offensive coordination, head coach is still reeling from Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you literally are coming on a week where you're like, holy moly, I have to now think about what this franchise is going to do with the extent of that damage.
Yeah.
Right? Now, luckily, he doesn't need surgery, but I think they're just trying to get to bye week.
That's it.
They're trying to get to bye week.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Without further injury. So,
yeah, they're going to go international Madrid, go explore, stay out in Madrid, go do whatever you got to do, go on a bye week, and then come back for week 12.
Because they're already at the bottom half.
Yeah.
They've lost their starting running back. They have to, or quarterback, sorry. They have to determine what the game plan is. They have an international game slated. They have a bye week slated. I think the name of the game is, can we just get through this game without taking physical damage to the rest of the core?
Somebody. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So they'll play hard. I don't think they're going to play super hard.
Yeah,
I think Detroit's going to take advantage, and this is going to be almost like an exhibition tune-up, and Detroit's going to light them up.
Yeah, I like it too. I think we're both on the same page here. This is like we said.
Yeah, at least 10 points.
At least 10 points. Like Detroit Super Bowl run starts right now. They're going to show why they're the highest offense, lethal offense Again, another complete team. They're going to show why. Washington, I'm sorry, you're going to be on the bottom of the stick there getting that. But Detroit -7.5. Irshad, me and you are taking this together.
Big dub.
Big dub. There we go. And which leads us now to our last game, where we sleep Sunday night, wake up Monday, go to work, do what we got to do. And we come home to watch the Philadelphia Eagles coming off a bye week after what they've done with the trade deadline right before it started.
Goodness.
Or ended. And against the Green Bay Packers, who just lost Tucker Kraft.
Huge loss, by the way.
So what do we have here? You're going to see the Eagles go out play in the cold in Green Bay. You know the weather's going to be cold out there. To give it, it's Green Bay, Lambeau Field. Lambeau Field's always amazing to play at. Green Bay favorite -1.5 here, Sean.
Oh man, Green Bay being favored -1.5 is interesting, and I get it, and I get why.
They're at home. Sure.
I get it. They're at home. Their offense is top 10. Their defense is top 10. I get it. I really, really do. The kicker though is the Eagles had a bye week. They know what they're facing. Okay, now coming off a bye week, they're an underdog. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles don't come off as underdogs often.
No.
But he is 10-8 against the spread as an underdog.
Yeah.
Since the last spread. So, and since the start of last season, when he and the Eagles are underdogs, they're 4-0 against the spread.
So, like...
4-0 against the spread and straight up. So they actually ended up winning the game, by the way, right? And Hurts has been an underdog off a bye week twice in his career. Okay? Super Bowl last year against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago against Kansas City.
Yeah.
And both times, he beat them.
Wow.
He won against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Against the Chiefs. Coming off a bye. So, telling me, do I think Kansas City Chiefs are like the Packers? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Right? Jordan Love's good, but he's no Patty Mahomes.
No, for sure.
Okay? You lost an offensive piece in Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
Okay? This is the same Tucker Kraft who had, what, a 2 or 3 touchdown day?
Yeah.
When it was National Tight End Day?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Huge.
Okay?
Huge fact. Like
Huge factor.
Huge piece.
Now, we know that Eagles aren't the greatest on Monday Night Football against the spread, but we also keep in mind that this is off a bye week.
Yes.
Things are different. This is a night game. He's 8-5 against the spread. And at home in Lambeau Field, Jordan Love is 8-5 against the spread. At home in Lambeau, he's 4-1.
Yeah.
Which is for sure, which is great.
Good, yeah.
Which is great. But we have to keep in mind that they are off a bye week.
Yeah.
They're off a bye week. And when they're long bye weeks, extended bye weeks on a longer week in itself, they're 24-13 against the spread. Nearly twice as likely to cover.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
Right? And the fact that this is -1.5, man.
Yeah, it's basically a pick-em.
It's basically a pick-em.
Right.
You've swayed one way, Green Bay -1.5.
Yeah.
And I get it. Their offense has been a little shaky.
Yeah,
I
sure.
get it. Both teams, right? I get it on
You get
paper.
the inconsistency, both.
For sure. And I get it on paper. On paper, Green Bay is great because obviously of what Tucker Kraft did.
100%.
Right? I get it. You lost that piece.
Yeah, you lost that piece.
Right? We know Saquon can turn it on. Okay? We saw that breakout that he had last week. A couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Right? Especially coming off a horrendous last few weeks prior to that.
Yes.
We know they can turn it on. We know they can. And I think that the Eagles are going to be in this pick'em state. I think A.J. Brown's going to come out strong.
Yeah.
I think Smith is going to come out strong. And I think Goddard's going to come out strong. But more importantly, you're going to see, Barkley's going to be Barkley.
Yeah, for sure.
But you're going to see Jalen Hurts get his confidence back.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Barkley's going to be his twin. He's going to come on and show him, like, hey, listen, like, I got your back. I'm always going to be behind you as running back. I got your back for sure. Let's lead this team to victory, right?
Let's do it.
And it also comes down to who's reffing the game, too. You got Clayton Martin reffing Monday night. We don't want to worry about Monday night because we're all about the spread. Yeah. Clayton Martin, for home teams, are 43-61-3 against the spread.
Jeez.
So now if you're sitting there looking at it, be like, okay, -1.5, it's a pick-up. They don't cover, right? 43-61, you're covering. You got to give it to Philly.
Exactly.
Philly, and plus they got nice pieces on their defense. They got, the trade away from Miami. They got good pieces. They're going to rebuild. And Nick Sirianni, with the pieces he's got, he's going to create something.
Oh, yeah.
The disguises on that defense is going to be something we haven't seen before. He's going to show up. And that's what the Eagles are. That's their identity. They come on to show you something different. They invented the tush push.
Yep.
On defense, you're going to see a different scheme. And I think Jordan Love doesn't know what's going to come at him.
Exactly.
And I just think the Eagles are going to come back and be like, hey, once again, we are a Super Bowl dominant team.
Yep.
We won the Super Bowl last year. We may have started off shaky. We went to a bye week. We had a team meeting. We rested. We're going to come on here and show you why we're Super Bowl contenders and start the run. All 3 games we have this week are all Super Bowl contender teams going at it. So, Philadelphia, I'm riding that with you, my brother. We got another game in the books where we are going together. We're taking the Eagles Monday night -1.5. Lock it in. And I'm going to say it again. Sprinkle the money line.
I do the money line. I sprinkle the money line. And one thing I want to add, Al, you brought up such a good point, brother. I didn't even pick it up. Nick Sirianni invented the almost undefensible tush push.
Yeah.
And we know, and I'm sure everyone knows that it's so hard to actually defend. But you and I, as well as the league, as well as the Eagles and Sirianni, know that they're in a bit of a funk right now.
Yeah.
And they've had a bye week.
Yeah.
You're telling me to have a bye week with the reigning Super Bowl champions who crafted the tush push and knows that they're in a bit of this weird slump. You're telling me that knowing what they know, they're not, to your point, they're not going to create some sort of debauchery play, that's going to keep, Jordan Love and the Packers on their toes. Yeah. I think their coverages will change. The zones will change. The offense and fades will change. Slants. You're going to see RPOs. You're going to see so many different things because they've had a week plus to learn it and they know what they're capable of. And this is what we said. Nick Sirianni's going to come up with some clever playmaking. Jalen Hurts is going to get his confidence back. This game, Philadelphia is taking.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be schemes that there's no videotape. The Green Bay Packers are going to be watching film. I think what the Eagles are going to come up with is not what's on film.
It's not on film yet.
It's not on film yet. So I feel like the Eagles are going to come up. But yes, before we get too excited, we got the Eagles, though, coming out Monday to win this game. So that ends our 3 games of the week. I'll recap it for you. Game 1, we got the Rams versus the 49ers. My brother and I are going against each other. That's the first game. So we'll have a little butt heads there. I got the Rams covering -4.5. My brother got San Fran covering. We go to game 2 where we ride together. We got the Detroit Lions going into Washington, kicking their butt -7.5.
Yep.
Then we go to wake up Monday where we got the Philadelphia Eagles going into Green Bay and Lambeau, where the Philadelphia Eagles will come out and squeeze out with the victory there too. Or we just wanted to cover the spread, lose by 1, but we both got them covering +1.5. And that has it for our games of the week.
That's it. Our 3 games right there. But series is not over yet.
Yes.
We're in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah.
And we've made this nice little theme here. We've made it the inaugural AIM Sports wide receiver week 10.
Yes.
So this is what we have. Let's get it out. Let me throw it to you first. Who's our first leg?
We got Zay Flowers scoring a touchdown. Zay Flowers is in a bit of funk. He's had, 3 different quarterbacks. He started off with Lamar Jackson. Then he went on to a different quarterback. And he went on to a different quarterback. And now he's got Lamar Jackson back. Zay Flowers needs to find the end zone. Bateman's got a touchdown. Andrews got a touchdown. Derrick Henry, he's a machine himself. But Zay Flowers is due for 1. Lamar Jackson is going to give it to him, feed it to him. Count that check mark right there. Zay Flowers touchdown.
That's it. Which brings us to leg number 2, which is Amon-Ra.
Yes.
St. Brown from the Lions, where we called earlier, where it should be a slap. Now, we have to keep in mind, he's also due. He also did not have a touchdown last week, and last touchdown was 2 weeks ago against October 20th against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And, 3 weeks ago. And in that, he only scored 1 touchdown.
Ooh.
So, he started off the season strong.
Yes.
In the first 4 games, he scored 6 touchdowns. Since the last 4 games, the most recent 4 games, he only scored 1.
So
he's coming out heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after the slap that they had last week.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're coming out, putting their championship dominance.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. They can't lose anymore because they are on the cusp of losing their wild card spot at the moment.
Exactly.
So Amon-Ra is going to be getting the targets and getting the ball in pay dirt from Jared Goff. Al, who's our third leg?
Last leg, 1 o'clock slot, number 1 wide receiver, rookie wide receiver, should win, maybe rookie of the year, 2, Emeka Egbuka. You have no wide receivers in Tampa Bay. You got Tez Johnson and you have Egbuka. You have no Godwin, you got no Mike Evans, and you know Baker Mayfield is a beast. He's at home playing one of the best teams right now. The New England Patriots were 7-2, and Tampa Bay is 6-2 here. Listen, this is a Brady matchup without Brady. So it's one of those ones that Baker Mayfield shines at big games. He's gonna find Egbuka, to find the end zone and score a touchdown, which ends our wide receiver AIM Sports parlay of the night, which gives us a multiplier of
8.88 times your unit.
We got triple eights out here. We're feeling nice. We're feeling lucky out here. So throw it down, get your straights if you want to, put it all together, but enjoy it, and we feel real confident about this one.
This looks pretty good because all these guys are due, and Zay, Egbuka, Amon-Ra, all wide receiver ones in the respective teams in a highly offensive, throw-first offense.
Offense, exactly.
It's gonna be a beautiful game. Lock it in.
Yep.
Whether you do straights, whether you do parlays, maybe sprinkle a little bit on either, hedge your bet. It's gonna be great. So let's sum Week 10 AIM Sports up. We have game number 1, Rams 49ers. Al's going Rams plus minus 4.5.
Yes.
I'm going 49ers plus 4.5. Game 2, we have Detroit at Washington, where Al and I are both calling Detroit minus 7.5. And game 3, we have Philly visiting Green Bay Packers. Al and I are calling Philly plus 1.5. Al, who do you have for the cook?
The cook, wide receiver, AIM Sports parlay. We got Zay Flowers, Emeka Egbuka, and Amon-Ra St. Brown times 8.88 your unit. Lock it in, have fun with it, hammer it, slam it, whatever's straight. But this one is gonna win.
It's gonna do it. So lock it in. Please, please, please have a good time. Follow us, like us, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Reach out to us. We're definitely holding down the socials. But please, please bet what you can afford. Please have a good time. We want to make sure you guys are riding with us till the end of the season.
Yes.
So please bet what you can afford. Let's have a good time. Let's lock in for Week 10, Sunday Night Football. From here, from Al and myself,
we're out. Peace. See you next week.
Peace.